This is Javier Unzueta with Javi's Woodshop, bringing you your business tip of the week. This week's tip, successful time management. In past business tips, I've mentioned how to set goals as well as how to value your time. Now, it all comes together. They say time is money. From a business standpoint, nothing could be truer. But early on, the most important lesson I've learned is that time is also an inventory item, and a limited one at that. Yes, inventory. The bad news is that time is fleeting, and once it's gone, you can never get it back. The good news is, whether you know it or not, it is completely under your control. You're in charge of your own time. My Uncle Wilbur decided to go into business once again. He asked me if it would be a good idea to create very unique products with extremely unique sayings and sell them online. I told him something extremely important. You don't say very unique or extremely unique. It's either unique or it's not. Pregnant or it's not. Oh, look, the light is very on. Regardless, he goes to this business of creating and selling items. He pours his heart and soul to the exclusion of all else. His family, the duties around his house, his hygiene. Pretty soon, however, he was getting plenty of orders, so much so that he started working more in the shop and left many messages unanswered, which led to less business. He was so stressed from that roller coaster ride from no business to too much business that he just finally gave up. Poor Uncle Wilbur. The two biggest lessons to be learned here are plan ahead and balance your time. Are you prepared if your first idea is a goldmine, or will you completely drop the ball, stumble, and let some other company run with it? Does your plan include a balance of personal time, leisure time, and incidental time for the unforeseen? The most common obstacle when you plan your time is that you never measure your actual time to complete a task, so you tend to underestimate your time, and then you run out of your inventory, your time inventory. Another huge problem for many people is procrastination. I'm sorry, but the only advice I can give here is buck up. You must factor that in and commit to the task, or you are guaranteed not to succeed. Procrastination is a simple concept. You're saying you will hold off a task until later. This directly translates into holding off your progress and success in your business until later. But time continues to move forward. Remember, when you procrastinate, you may succeed later than planned, but you're definitely guaranteed to fail now. So here's how to manage your time, whether in business or in your personal life. Step 1, write down your goals. Business or personal. You should have a good idea of your goals from my prior business tips episode, Setting Business and Personal Goals. Look it up. Step 2 is set a hard deadline for those goals. Your goals should always include deadlines. So this should be a simple step. But remember, you have to reasonably calculate the time involved. Step 3, create a task list with everything you need to make that goal happen. In other words, break down the goal into simple, manageable tasks. Step 4, turn the task list into a plan. Set a deadline for each task. Now, there are two schools of thought relating to this. A, set the deadlines tight to force yourself to finish sooner. The problem is this can be very stressful for some people. It can actually cause you to fail or psychologically hinder your motivation. If this is your case, label yourself a millennial and go out and get a job. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You will not succeed as an entrepreneur. Your only other option is option B. Set the deadlines with a lot of spare time to accomplish each task. Now, this is a dangerous precedent. You'll either race the deadline to accomplish the task sooner and succeed, or delay your task until the last possible moment, become overwhelmed, and fail. And now that you know what to do, it's simple. Step 5, take action. Do something every day toward your goal. Procrastination is not a beautiful, relaxing concept or ideal. It's the enemy bent on stealing the limited time you have in your life. After a disappointing setback in a business venture, Uncle Wilbur just sits at his desk watching YouTube videos all day long while Aunt Bertha tries to urge him to go out and get a job. Sure, it may seem demeaning for an entrepreneur to search for work, and he may complain while doing something he doesn't like for a while, but he would have had self-respect and soon would have been in a much better financial position to attempt his next business venture. How demeaning is it to be considered a lazy loafer? Wilbur's not fooling anyone. Poor Uncle Wilbur. Allow me to share my own advice on the subject. Motivation cancels procrastination. That's it. Motivation cancels procrastination. Don't search for how to stop procrastinating. Search for how to increase your motivation. But realize sometimes there's no possible way to stay motivated, particularly for repetitive tasks. If that's the case, only your stubbornness in pursuing that task will work. Force yourself until the task becomes a habit and comfortable. Work through the pain, as they say. Remember the underlying philosophy. You're either moving forward or you're moving backward in business. There is no pause button. Think about that seriously and take it to heart. This has been Javier Unzueta with Javi's Woodshop. Have a wonderful week. Please subscribe and hit that little bell. That's a little reminder, so every time I put one of these things out, you'll be reminded, ding, hey, Javi's got some business advice. It might be good this week.